The main reason why I do these things is if I grow and I find out more about myself. And I think I gain a new perspective on life every time I put myself in a new level. I've been prepping for this one since like May. So, I mean, maybe like 5 months worth of prep.
The Midstate Ultra is a 100-mile, it's also a 50 and a 30-mile race that takes place in Massachusetts. I just found out about it not too long ago, but it's like the 6th year running for this race now, so it's starting to get pretty big. I really like this race because it's point to point. So you're running from the whole northern part of the state all the way to the south. So I think it's so cool that you can pretty much run in a straight line for 100 miles. That's why I picked it.
So best way to describe 100 miles to someone, you're basically working 4 8-hour shifts in a row, back to back, no rest, barely any food, not enough water, and you're exhausted.
So we just came back from the grocery store. We got the haul for tomorrow. We're starting off with some essentials, fruit snacks. These are gonna be really easy to eat. I'm actually gonna be probably craving these. After I finish recording this, we got Oreos. I usually don't even eat Oreos, but I think having something different like this that I'm not used to is gonna be really sick, especially because I'll have permission from myself to be able to eat as many as I want. I got some peanuts as well. I want to start to get like some one ingredient foods in there, or at least some whole foods, so I'm not just eating straight chemicals the whole time. And oh my gosh, these are the best part. I got a whole bunch of chips here because chips are really easy to eat. There's gonna be a lot of times where I'm not gonna want to eat a single thing, so at least chips are not gonna mess with my stomach too much, and they're not gonna be too hard to eat. These, I don't need to explain these. These are just really good. And of course, I have to get a lot of orange juice. Again, I just really, really love my orange juice, so this is a no-brainer for me. And then this is just some other stuff that I feel like I might be craving. I honestly just figured I'm just gonna throw everything in the cart, and I'd rather have too much than not enough. I ended up getting ginger ale because of the bubbles. I find a lot of times that if I'm getting stomach problems, especially from running all day, I'm gonna want something like this, and if I didn't have this, I would definitely regret it, honestly. And then, last but not least, we got grapes in 2 different forms, actual grapes, and then we got the jelly here. Again, these are pretty self-explanatory. Grapes, I just personally really like grapes, so I'm just trying to give myself foods that I want to actually eat versus foods that I'm trying to force myself to eat because it's supposed to be like good fuel. I find that when I'm running, any calories is really good calories because it's hard to get calories in, especially when you don't want to do anything but just sit down and take a nap. So that's pretty much it, and yeah.
It's the kind of distance you shouldn't even be thinking about in the first place. I personally can think about even just 3 miles, and if I think about it hard enough, it's gonna feel really far. So I would say the 100-mile distance isn't really something to think too hard about. It's kind of just something to sit there, spectate, and enjoy, or try to participate. I'd say my biggest fear, obviously, is not finishing. I'd say behind that, probably getting injured or running into a bear.
My game plan for nutrition is just go with how I'm feeling, eat with what I want to, because I know flavor fatigue is going to kick in, and there's going to be a point in the race where I don't even want to look at anything sweet and I don't even want to look at anything salty, and my cravings might be really weird, so just to eat and run, that's my plan. I'm about to show you guys what's in my bag. Here we just have a change of clothes. I brought extra clothes in case I'm really going to need more. I'm not sure if it's going to rain. I'm not sure what's going to happen, so it's always better to be prepared. I have my extra shoes here that I'm going to change into at some point. And in here, I just have some chafing gel, and I have the gels that I'm going to be using as well. Besides that, we're just going to end up stuffing this probably with a couple snacks, and then that'll be it. I think the hardest part for me right now is just really being present. It doesn't feel like I'm going to go run 100 miles tomorrow, It is something I've done before, but it's one of those things where you forget about how much it hurt until you actually go out there and try to do it again. This training block was probably the hardest training block I've ever done in my life. Definitely the hardest I've ever worked running wise. Lots of days with minimal sleep. Lots of days with long runs that were back to back, which is something I've never done before. Lots of days where I ran where I frankly didn't want to run, but we still got out there anyways. I have a mentor of mine that always tells me that whenever the why is big enough, the how is always much, much easier.
The dark fades, the sun rises. The dark fades, the sun rises. A million healed.
Hi there.
Hey,
Reflective vest.
I have the reflective
Okay,
for
belt.
the ankles and the...
Yeah, we just advise that when you're on the road, you wear as much
Awesome.
reflection as possible.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
will be cars.
Sweet.
Headlamps too. They
Headlamps.
both work.
What else?
Red flashy light.
Oh, yep. This is my red flashlight.
Okay.
I'm gonna wear this on the front and this
And
on the
one
back.
on the back. Okay, and you've got 1.5 to 2 liters. You have an extra bladder in the back or something.
No, I don't have an extra bladder in the back. I don't really want one.
Thank you.
You don't want extra, so you, is that 1
This is
liter
what.
total?
Yeah.
Okay. And then race joy app.
Oh, race trays right here. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, 128.
So it's in there, pins are in there as well. Just make sure the bib's somewhere visible so they can see it when you go through.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here.
And then wristbands in there. You just put that on either one of your wrists. All right?
Thank you, my man.
You want energy too?
Sure.
All right, good
Yeah,
luck.
thanks, man.
How you doing?
And I would have gave all of my best to you. So if you ever need a fool who will give you a love so true, you can always find me where the skies are blue. And let your dreams, little darling, in a flower bed. Let the sunshine in your head. In your head. You're gonna be somebody's brand new love. Mama,
2, 1. Here we go, Midstate Massive.
and when the fairy tale's through and you're looking for someone new, you can always find me where the skies are blue. You can always find me where the skies are blue.
What up, bro?
You better be having fun.
I am.
All right, good.
With the lights and the roses and the cowards downtown, they threw me a party, there was no one around. They tried to call my girl, but she could not be found. I buried my guilt in a pit in the sound. With the rust and the vultures and the trash downtown. So don't step to me, kid, you'll never be found. 'Cause while you were sleeping, I took over your town.
Yeah, so at mile 25, honestly, I wish I did feel better going into that aid station, but I was already kind of beat up. I had already fallen about 2 or 3 times, and I got like this scratch here, a couple scratches on my legs. And honestly, I wasn't too happy to know that there was a whole lot of mountain in front of me. But that was definitely the best aid station that I had mental-wise, because I wasn't that far yet. I was still 25 miles in.
Whoa.
Get on that side.
Yo, look at my freaking knees. I guess press up on the rocks. I feel good though.
What you dreamed it. Right here it is. What do you need, Andy? Anything? Some what? Oh, some tape?
Yeah, I got it.
You have it in there. Oh, that's up.
Absolutely. Don't let me touch it because I have peanut butter all over my work.
That's alright.
Have you checked in?
Gotta go to Five Guys and tell them rev up those fryers, buddy.
We're gonna get you a burger.
Yeah, get me like a double with no cheese though.
You want a burger
And,
for
like,
50 mile?
tomato.
At mile 45, actually, the app that we used, that the race gave us to use for the tracking and everything, it cut out at 45 miles. So we didn't have any idea where he was. And keep in mind, on the app, it gives me alerts to his mile pace. So I was able to the whole time see how many miles he had left until the next checkpoint and his mile time, so I could check it. But once the app went, I was like scrambling. Luckily, we had him on Life 360 and found my iPhone. So it wasn't a complete bust, but that was probably the hardest part about filming him.
Running through the night is kind of a whole animal in itself. When the daytime is going and the sun is up, it's certainly a lot easier to run. But running at night, it's just really spooky, honestly. There's so many times where I was running and a rock that I kicked would go down like a small hill and make a lot of noise and rustle all of the leaves that are going on in the fall. And I would just have to check really quick, make sure there's not an animal or anything like that. Plus, running at night was harder because I was going off course a lot. So there were a lot of moments during the race, probably like 7 or 8 times at least, where I went like off course and I had to go back on. And there were so many other runners that also were getting lost. And there were just points in the race where you get to an intersection and you're like, okay, now where the heck do I go? And you need to spend a couple minutes figuring that out. So besides all the challenges of the race itself, all the rocks and everything you gotta run over, you also do have to deal with the night. At the mile 58 station, that one was pretty tough for me because at that point I don't think I ate too much into the race, so I knew I needed to get a lot of food in. And it was really hard to eat, honestly. It was hard to eat. I was really cold because now we just entered the night. And that aid station was really tough too because I wasn't sure how I was gonna continue to get more food in and keep continuing. But I try not to think about it too much because when you're at mile 50, you're like, great, it's a nice boost because you're halfway. But then if you start to think about what you have in front of you too much, it's gonna get really discouraging. Oh yeah, the cooler. Let's freaking go. Mile 40 through 45. Awful. Where's the orange juice at?
Cooler.
Oh, it's me.
this, man. Oh my gosh. That first half was harder than I expected, honestly.
What hurts the most right now, though?
My mind. I would say my mind hurts the most because you feel mentally tired and your body still hurts, but it doesn't hurt enough for you to not stop running. But mentally, you're just like so defeated that the only thing you want to do is just walk. But then you look at the clock and you're like, I gotta run.
When I got to the mile 58 station, I had a burger, which I barely ate a quarter of. I also didn't want to eat any other food, but I knew I had to because I hadn't eaten in a bit. And I just knew I had to keep getting calories in because if I ran out and I waited too long, I was going to be in danger of vomiting.
I shouldn't have drank that much orange juice. I'll heat up though. This is it, man. These are the moments I asked for.
At mile 50, one of the things on my mind was just waiting and being excited for the day to come up. I'm really not excited about running in the night because it's a lot easier to get down on yourself and have bad self-talk, especially just when you're cold, again, when you don't want to eat anything. So at mile 50, my main thought was just to focus on the positive and try to keep myself moving.
I almost DNF'd actually.
Really?
The whole thing was almost over.
Why?
There was aid station number 9. I didn't know, but the cutoff for it was 5:30 a.m.
Really?
And I made it at 5:27. 3 minutes to spare. If I showed up 3 minutes later, they were kicking me off.
Damn.
And they were canceling the whole race. I got shook, bro.
Damn, bro, that's crazy.
And I picked it up, and now I got some spare time, but I'm not letting up.
How's your night been, man?
I am gonna finish it, bro. I'm so glad the night's gone, bro. Holy cow.
Shit, I'm an early bird. It's 10 o'clock before and the job gets done, but you worry some. I know, but who wants to live forever, babe? You treat your mouth as if it's heaven's gate. The rest of you like you're the TSA. I wish I could go along. Babe, don't get me wrong, you know you're bright as the morning, soft as the rain, pretty as a vine, sweet as a grape. If you could sit in a barrel, maybe I'll wait until that day. I'd rather take my whiskey and leave my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too.
So Andy's face was a big telltale sign for me that he was out of it. Obviously, we do a lot of filming together. I see how he is when he's energized, and I could just tell he wasn't. And I'm just, just trying to help him with any possible thing, get him cookies, get him my orange juice, whatever he wanted. But his face was definitely the thing I could tell. Plus, when he answered me, he didn't speak loudly. It was very minimal.
Yeah, that mile 88 station, also really tough because I just got rained on in the street. And that was a point in the race where I think my ankle was a bit swollen. And I also had so much pain in my calf that I had to try to bandage it up. Honestly, if we didn't have the adhesive bandages that we did have to put on my leg, I don't think I would have finished that race because that really helped tighten my calf up to the point where I could still run on it. Because even at that point in the race, knowing that I still had like 20 miles left and now I was actually in pain was a little tough because I knew that I just had to continue pushing through it. And there were so many moments after that aid station where I was feeling just so much pain and I just couldn't stop because I knew I had to keep going. And regardless of the pain, I just had to keep pushing and running through it. I kept telling myself, ignore the calf pain, ignore the ankle pain. And that is something I repeated to myself probably like 1,000 times in those last 20 miles.
I could see the pain he was in, and I kind of just wanted to leave him be in a way, but I kind of just wanted to also know what he needed. And a slight thing that he didn't know about that I did, though, when he went out after he left, I had checked with the race coordinators like what his time was, and they basically told me they were like, he has time, but he has to he can't stop. Like, he has to keep moving. And I could see how stressed out he was, and I'm just like, get out of his way, just try to document every little thing. Just to see him like that was just, I had never seen him like that before, to be honest.
I was not expecting during the race was having to race against the clock. I made it only 3 minutes before they were actually going to DNF me because I almost didn't make the cutoff. Because there was nothing more that I wanted to finish the race and not DNF. When I wanted to stop, which was definitely a lot of times, what made me not was being afraid to not finish the race and being afraid to not make it on time. That was definitely my biggest motivating factor. I remember so many times where I wanted to stop, and I actually said I was going to. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take like a nice 5-minute, 10-minute break here. But now looking in hindsight, seeing that I only finished with about 20 minutes to spare off of the cutoff for the whole race, I'm really glad that I didn't stop. And what made me not stop definitely was being afraid to not finish.
Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally down. Last done start, gotta tell the ground. Green Sally up, green Sally.
It is nothing short of an experience that is not just once in a lifetime, but unique every single time you do it. And honestly, it's when I feel the most alive, especially just throughout the toughest times, the highs and the lows, everything that comes and goes. I've never felt more alive than when I'm out there in the woods and I'm fighting for my life. It's a lot more than the miles, and I think more so than any of the stats or any of the belt buckles or the medals that people compete for, or even getting on the podium. What matters more is the mindset that you come out with after you finish something like this.
Bro, I fell, my watch died. When I first crossed that finish line, I don't know, I feel like I barely could feel. There was just so much going on and so much relief that I literally didn't even know what was going on around me. I crossed that finish line, laid down, and fell into the most immense pain ever that was so unique because I was so happy and relieved at the same time. I was in two different states at once. I was in so much pain on one hand, and I was so incredibly happy on the other. So it was a very bittersweet feeling crossing that finish line.
Oh, dude. Oh, I'm so freaking happy, man. Dude, I can't wait to go to the crib. We literally finished, bro. Dude, and I was gonna get DNF by 3 minutes, bro.
I know, right?
Imagine that happened.
Dude, now you came in clutch, bro.
Bro, God was on his side today, bro. Oh, bro, and the night was so long.
Dude, I don't even know what to do right now.
You gotta drive home tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, okay, bro.
I thought you were driving home like right now.
I'm getting another day for the Airbnb.
Everything is packed in the car. You're driving home.
Yeah, let's check out the buckle, bro.
Silverware right there. Bro. Wow. I'm so uncomfortable even just laying down right now. If it weren't for the adhesive tape from my knee, from my calf, I wouldn't have finished. I had to push through so much calf pain, literally just running with calf pain and just ignoring it.
I forgot to hit record, sorry.
And shin pain. Oh. Bro, I'm in so much pain right now. Crazy.
I knew he was gonna finish it. I had no doubt about it. I know his mindset. I know what he listens to, what he watches. I never had a doubt he wasn't gonna finish. Wasn't even worried. I slept while he was running with no guilt. That's how confident I was.
My body doesn't feel like I'm in too much pain right now, but I just feel like very fragile. It feels like there's just like deeper damage that was done to my body. I'm not sure about the science behind it, but it's not like I'm in pain right now. I'm gonna get like a lot of random aches and pains just out of nowhere, but I feel like I'm aged like another 80 years right now is what I would imagine my body to feel like in 80 years. With anyone watching right now, honestly, I would just, it sounds corny, but truly, that you can do a lot more than you think, and you are more capable than you give yourself credit.
How many times did you go off course?
A lot. Like 6, 7 times.
Did you like at any point like feel like you were gonna like sprain? Like, did you hit any like really bad rocks, like sprain wise, or no? Or
Yes. Dude, in the beginning, I scraped my knee on the log, I picked a rock, I fell a couple times.
I did get you wiping out that one time.
I fell like 3 times. I fell 2 other times, you didn't see me.
Oh, did you?
That's how I got this blood on my finger.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, how'd you get that?
And the other blood on my leg.
Do you ever get through ultras without any blood? Is it possible?
It's kind of hard, especially with all the foliage. Like, you're gonna get scratched or something.
Are you thawing out?
I want to be on still.
No, I know. As long as I'm turning it off. Just turning it a little down so I don't